Welcome to the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library. And I want to thank you for joining us for our first webinar related to online resources that the library has to offer. And so hopefully this will be the first of a series of webinars that will be produced here at the library. Anyway, one of the first ones we wanted to bring to your attention is a resource that is sort of a beginning resource for any library search. If you're wanting to know if we have a certain title or an author, books by an author or subject, it's best to start at the online catalog. And so we've sort of went to a new browser, a new interface on our public access catalog back in January, and I think it's made it easier in a lot of ways. And so we're going to take a few minutes to show you how to use it and how to access it. So again, the online public access is a great tool to begin any search that you want to know what's at the library. You can, the easiest way to get to it is to go to the library's website. The library's website is at clevelandlibrary.org. And again, you go to any web browser, enter that into the address bar, and you can get to the library's page. There are a lot of great resources here, and we'll be spending time in the future to talk about some of those. But the online catalog, anytime you go to our webpage, it's going to be close to the top, near the top. It'll be something that says like online catalog, such as this, or in our present website, we have a place where you can actually enter a keyword or author or title and get to there. But right now we're going to go ahead and click on the online catalog. And so this will take us to the Atrium. As this loads, I'm going to just step you through some of the views of what you see when you first get here. You'll see a bar across the top, a dark blue bar, I guess, and these three lines here are a menu. If you click there, it's going to expand it. You'll see some headings and some different options there. Over here, you'll see a little house. And it's actually, if we ever would get off this particular page, I can just click the home button and it'll bring me right back to the screen that we're seeing currently. We also have the it looks like a image of a person, and that's actually how you go about accessing your online account. You enter in your information for your library barcode, you enter it in without space, and your PIN number. If you don't know your PIN number, you can call the library circulation desk and they can create one for you. They may ask for some verifying information to know it's you that we're talking to, but yeah, you can get a PIN number and log on with your library card and PIN number into the catalog. And there are a lot of different things that are available to you when you do that. So anyway, just wanted to show you those things. We're going to scroll down and look at these. There is always a showcase, a scrolling bar showcasing recent titles. And you'll see right now, the one that's highlighted, you'll see just added here. Below, so see as the title scroll by, it says just added. These are titles in the last couple of days, 3 or 4 days, that these titles have been added to the library's collection. And if you see something you like and say, hey, that's something I want to try to check out, you just hit that reserve button. And this, you'll always see a blurb. You'll see if there is an image of the book, you'll sort of see that image of the cover of the book. And then you'll also see a little blurb about the book. You can get more information by clicking on see more. But also, we're at the end of that. It's going to go back the other way. If we click on trending, I'm clicking on trending down here at the bottom left. And now we're going to see these are popular titles that have been added in recent days. And so, again, are popular. They've been checked out maybe more than once. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these titles. I may wait for that second. Sorry. I don't think I'm logged in presently. We will get there in a minute. I'm going to keep on scrolling down. You'll see another scrolling bar. This one has titles. We try to feature different types of books every month, and this one, the month of March, is Women's Month. So there you're going to find titles of people that have made an impact in history, or current celebrities, and and we also do a book display every month. It's out usually in the past the circulation desk, heading towards the bathrooms and towards the Friends of the Library book sale. There's a tiered round display case that we put book displays, and so we put all these book displays into the books that are on them into a list. And so this is actually scrolling from that list. So we're featuring the books of women history. So go down further, you find information related to news and messages from the library. It tells you how to log in. That's where we put some information about that. And you also can click on, if you don't have a library card, you can click here and it leads you to an online application. Likewise, if I go up to the top and click on this person, you don't have a library card, there's a way to register right there as well. So, and if you find out, hey, I've got fines, it's not letting me check out or renew my materials, you can go in and pay any overdue fine above, I think it's above $1 through PayPal. So you go down further, you'll find something that's labeled community. We're trying to get organizations within our community to place an advertisement about their organization on the library's webpage. There's ways that they can log into their account and make that access and write information about the different groups, like this Southern Writers Group. It's actually a library-sponsored organization, Southeastern Writers Alliance, and it tells you about the organization, how often they meet. There's a Facebook page where they meet, phone number for contact information. And also special events can happen there. Likewise, you'll see some, I think we have a board game club and activity club. So if I were to type a heading, a search bar, and also one of the first things I forgot to mention right before the scrolling featured bar, there is a search bar here. So I can enter title, author, subject, and it searches by keyword. So it's not looking at particular subject headings. You may get a lot of other hits with this. I mean, you may get a lot of records that bring up. It may not be as specific as some other searches that I'm going to show you a little later of how to access. But most of the time, this really does work well for what you're looking for. So what you might be looking for. But likewise, these community organization events and tabs, if I were to look for gaming or games in the search bar up above, you'll see a tab eventually that I'll show you later that will have a community tab on there, and it would have that game information about the game club. So board game club. Other things you'll see are highlighted lists, bestseller lists, maintain fiction bestseller list as well as nonfiction bestseller list. Likewise, you can click on the title and it will bring up, you can see information about the book as well as being able to put it on hold if it's actually in the collection. Sometimes they may be listed as on order. That means they're coming, they're just not here yet. So, and then you'll find other lists as well. We also have links. You have access to the library's homepage. Also, when I was mentioning about different other great resources that the library has through the database page, you can get to many other great resources with your library card and be able to log in and just take some time and look at there. Also, we have a children's catalog. If you want to look there for your child, it's sort of interactive. They can see subjects and picture cover books covers of books that are very interested, and it's sort of those covers are quilted together to form the searching. Beyond there, you have the library information, tells about the library, the location, the address, email information. You have the main library here, and you have the mainline library hours below. You also have up here history branch information, its location, and its hours. And Bookmobile, we have information related to a phone number for Bookmobile and email, as well as their schedule. Their schedule varies a lot, so you can go directly to, information. There's a Bookmobile page on the website, on the library's webpage, and you can find out particular stops and times. So if we go back up to the top, let me just sort of sample one of these titles and show you what you get when you click on one of the titles. I'm going to click back on a trending title. I'm going to try this one I saw a few minutes ago. It's Jonathan Kellerman. I think I'm going to click on it and see what shows up. I want to click here and, oh, sorry, it went there. I'll click on see more. This is what you'll see when you pull up a particular specific title. You'll see right now there are no copies available, but it tells the title, author. You'll see the cover of the book. Gives you option here. You can reserve. So if I click it here, it's gonna it will make me log in. So I may do that right now. I'm going to show you how to do it. I enter in up here, do my library card number and my PIN number. And then I don't think I quite hit it right. Sorry. You'll see that now that my dashboard greets me as hello Andrew L. Dashboard finds my lists. You'll see that here. We'll go into this a little bit more, but let me go back to that first list. And you see I'm not right at the home page. If I click here, it's going to take me back to the very first screen we looked at initially. I'm going to find this Jonathan Kellerman, open it up again, and talk about, so you can see it here. It's having to reload. Sometimes I got caught in an error. It just needed to refresh. So I'm opening. Oh, let's try this again. Okay, let's try that. So now we have the reserve button. I know it already says no copies are available. I can reserve. I can save it for later. So I have a couple of options. Save it for later. Yeah, maybe I've got a full hand load of books to read right now, so I'm just going to save it for later. We'll see if it'll come back up in a minute. Notify. What's that button for? Say, these are some of the subject headings related to the City of the Dead. So I could click here and say I want something, a subject heading. It's a detective and mystery fiction. So if anything that comes in with that subject heading, I'm going to get a notice about. If we have your email, or if we have your mobile phone number that can receive text messages. So I could set up several different headings. Maybe I want more books by Jonathan Kellerman. If I click here, it's going to notify me anytime there's one added. So just a couple of options here. Across the top, just so you can see. Overview, it just sort of gives a basic information about the title. And copies, it'll actually tell me how many copies we actually have. We have 2 copies, and they're both circulating. And here we have the bibliographic record. Sort of gives some of the same information that we saw in the overview. You can see the title, author, its format, and as well as the publisher and publication date, and how many pages. And then you can see information regarding the MARC record, and you can again see a blurb. You can see a lot of the same information we talked about, and subject headings. That 650 fields are subject headings, so you can see some of the subject headings: psychologist, fiction, police, California, Los Angeles, fiction, murder. All of those are subject headings that I could search by and get to where get to those areas. Similar, these are authors and titles, and a lot of them right now, the ones that you're seeing are those by Kellerman, but there may be other. The further you go down, you'll see some other authors that write in the same genre. James Patterson, you'll see, and if you go further, I can get it moved and cooperating. My arrow is not cooperating. Definitely. You'll see Michael Conley, and just going down through the different headings that I've mentioned, some of those subject headings that are related. You'll get a whole bunch of other leads to maybe authors that you had not considered. Also reviews. You'll get reviews, and these reviews, there's another area that we can look at that talk about reviews, but these are reviews that are more patron oriented. I guess people have just not, no one's ever tried to put a review of our patrons on this item. So, but you can actually. Okay, overview. If I go down further, you can see these different areas. Again, we pay for enhanced content, so we get a lot of information, patrons, that can lead to a lot of other potential titles. But you can see summary about the author, look inside the book. You can read his portion. You may also again, other titles that you might be, this title may lead you to. Professional reviews, reader reviews, tags, and book profiles. So if I go down, you'll find the information about the author. And again, if I click up here, it's going to take me to that same area. So it's sort of linked there. So you can read about the author, about some of the titles he's written. If there are series, you would see those series, and they would all be listed in series order, which is nice. So I may show you that. So that's a great feature in here. But I can see I can read it, a portion of chapter 1. I can see the cover, or I can click to see full details. Again, some other Michael Conley books or similar authors. Michael Deaver, Jeffrey Deaver, J.D. Robb. And you can get information about the author themselves and their lists, as well as reviews. And these have been reviewed before on the site library thing. So again, you can see what other people have thought about the books, and then as well as this word, these tags. And you can click here, and it'll take you to other mystery books. So it's great. Again, I can click some of these headings, a genre. If I click here, police, it's going to take me to some other authors that may fit under that category of that subject heading. So, but any of this is text you can click on. But this sort of breaks the title down into, who's the main character, it's male antagonist, protagonist, psychologist, police occupations, and I could click on any of this and it'll lead me to other potential titles. So there's a great source of information here. And again, don't forget the series titles. Those of you who like the J.D. Robb books, I mean, and those there are some authors that we know write prolifically. Let's see if I can see J.D. Robb. I'm just going to pull up one real quick and just show you. I don't think it really matters on this. So if I just go down, I was talking about the different series. Okay, like here's one of this series. What series is this? This series you can see different series, and maybe more than one. This shows the particular order of the death series. So book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goes all the way. You can go up and see full series. There may be even more series. I think there are, but you can access that information. It's a really great resource because it's hard to remember all the order of those titles after a while. So this one goes up to number 54. So that series. But anyway, that just lets you know that is a great thing that I enjoy about this resource and the enhanced content that's available. Now let's go back up to the menu. When you go back here, we've seen some of this information before. The news and message, the library information, trending titles, and just added titles. You also have all the lists that have been created. And again, we have some that are like you can get into the access to the new nonfiction books. And if I see one that I think I'm interested in this, I again can click there and I either can reserve it now or I can save it for later. So, and we also have the useful links. Again, we saw that earlier. But again, there's usually more than one way to get to those bits of information. The other thing that we were talking about, the two other areas, we have suggest items. You can go here and titles or subjects that we may not have anything on, or authors, you could request that here. So, and then it will be channeled to the person that makes that decision for those areas of purchase. The other areas related to advanced search. And the advanced search, if I do, let me just do an example of a search here. I'm going to do trains. And again, we'll see something similar. When I do a search here, it is keyword. So I'm looking for like locomotive trains, railroads, and trains. So if I look here, there are 2,300 potential titles, and you're going to see a variety. You have something about if I lived in the days of knights, and I bet there's something. Again, keyword will search the titles, will search the subject headings, it may search the blurb about the book, any information. There may be something that mentions training, and I bet there's something related to training of a knight. And there are ways you can get that information. Again, we're talking about business guide to managing. Again, it's talking about training, but not the kind of train I'm looking for. So there be ways to refine that here, potentially. Now I could narrow, try to change its subject. Let's see what it does. We had 2392. If I change that, instead of a keyword to a subject, it eliminated 1,600 records. And I'm going to probably find a train book quicker here. It may not, there's still a lot of things about training dogs and cats and a variety of other things. But it did help narrow down some. I could also narrow it over here by adult, children, young adult, more particular areas of the collection. Maybe I want juvenile nonfiction. That will eliminate some. Brought it down to 54. I still have some dog books I should have some train books. So, but is there other ways to search? And also, let me go back to the couple of searches a minute ago. Let me remove this click here. And if you've clicked on it, you can click on it again. It'll remove it. So what I wanted to show you is the fact these little bubbles above here. There are going to be a lot of different subject headings that may lead you to the exact place. So I necessarily didn't get the greatest answer to my question here. But if I go up here, I'll see something that says railroad trains heading or subject heading, also railroads. If I click here, I'm going to get pretty quickly to railroads. Now, what about this title here? This is about a train, you know. So it's, and some of these fiction titles may have information, but I'm going to get some things about trains. Now, if I go here to juvenile nonfiction, I'm going to get, it moved it to 11. Now, are there other ways to search for what we just did? Yes. If I go down, click on the menu, go down to advanced search. I'm going to enter again the same term, trains. Okay. And if we search, we're going to sort of see a similar result here. 2392. Now look here, all of these are hyperlinks. If I click on this, it's going to give me other options. So I'm going to change it to subject. See what happens here. Okay, it changed my list again by that 1600. Let me see if subject equals. Let's see what happens there. See if that makes a difference. You'll see how these change it a lot. I mean, sometimes a change like that is a big change. So let's try it with begins with. I bet I will get something here. I got 9 titles. Now, 9 titles seems maybe a little too limited. So how could I expand it? You expand it by doing and or. Now, if I wanted to go back to my original search, well, or let's say, we know railroads may be one of those subject headings. And I said, how do I know what's this in the subject heading, or how this book, how you will find it depends upon how, what subject headings are in there sometimes. I'm going to go to the Bibliographic Info and show you where I can sort of, maybe if I'm not hitting as many titles as what I thought I should, I'm going to go here and say, click on the mark record and go down to those 650 fields. And again, we saw trains. Look here, here's another one, railroads. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to that other hit, and I'm going to do, I could do and or. I'm going to do or though this time, because and is more limiting, or expands your search. So let's try that. We're going to change, we're going to make it subject and railroads. And I have 502 titles. Now again, you're going to find fiction, nonfiction, adult books. But I could go back here and again, limit. I could say I want only nonfiction titles, either adult. I could click both adult nonfiction, adult juvenile nonfiction, and narrow it down, eliminate all of the fiction titles. I mean, there's a lot of strength power you have in that advanced search. And I use it quite a bit. A lot of times the simple search up here will get you to where you're at. And again, if you remember those bubbles at the top, especially, just remember, hey, this isn't what I was really looking for. Remember to look up here at the top. It may lead you to the exact thing you were looking for. Anyway, we wanted to give you that basic introduction. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Have a great day.